want to make sure that you're safe and that you are clear from this storm. So if you're watching us right now, get on the lowest floor, centermost room. Interior closet, bathroom will work great. If you have a designated storm shelter or basement, that works just as well. Just get to that lowest floor, sturdy building, and protect yourself with pillows and blankets. If your kids and you're staying at the house and the parents are gone right now, best thing you can do is follow the instructions. Get to the lowest floor of the centermost bathroom or closet in a sturdy building, and just get there and wait till this storm passes. Right now, no confirmation of a tornado, but we're coming to you live once again just because we do have this storm that has a tornado warning with it as it makes its way into LaFleur County. So I want to be tracking this very carefully, and we'll be tracking this as it continues to move to the northeast. And let me see the exact timing that they put on this. And we'll see, they put it northeast at 25 miles an hour. So that's another thing to note too, is these storms are not moving very quickly. They're moving right around 25 miles an hour. So, I mean, those of us who have driven across the area, on, areas with school zones, it's not moving very fast. So this is going to be moving very slowly. And we'll put it here. Let's do that track. And we'll show you. So Dog Creek coming up at 5:37. Keota at 5:43, eventually Bedwell at 6 p.m., and if it continues to hold its act together, that's where we're going to be at Spire around 6:17. Again, that's if it maintains its strength. We're coming to you live right now. If you're just now tuning in and you're seeing that we're live here on air and on 5+, we're talking about a tornado warning for portions of LaFleur County. And again, we have been watching this little thunderstorm very closely. It's in effect until 6 p.m. Now, we don't have a confirmation of a tornado, but with these little cells, you want to treat it as if there is a tornado on the ground. You want to treat any tornado warning safely like that, just because it's better to be safe than sorry. And you can see there is this little area that we're watching, and I'll get that track off for you here. And we're going to go ahead and take a look with the velocity product and see what we can with this. So I want to go over to velocity again, and we'll boot that up and we'll show you the little areas of rotation. There's one near McCurtain, and there might be a little one to the southeast of McCurtain as well. So let's go back to basic radar. And this is one of those things that we've been talking about. This is not going to be one of those significant long track tornado potentials. Of course, any tornado is dangerous, but what we're looking at with this one is all day long to the south and east of here, we've had these little spin ups. You see the rotation, it doesn't look all that impressive, and then you'll get a tornado from it. And that's why we had that tornado watch in effect for portions of LaFleur County and Scott County. And again, keeping an eye on this, the area of rotation would be right there near McCurtain, Highway 31, Highway 26. And we're going to be taking a look at the chat room too, just to see if we're getting any sort of reports in as well. So let's go back to this. And I also want to check and make sure that our Weather Service friends are, see if there's any sort of updates with this, and it doesn't look like we're getting any sort of updates at this time. I want to go to the POTO camera real quick, and let's see if we can actually see anything with that. I know that is to the south and east of there, and bear with me as I'm going to load that in here, see if we can see anything. May need to spin that around as well, so we'll try and do that here. If someone behind the scenes may be able to spin that camera around, that may be helpful. So we'll go back to this. Let's go back to the radar and just do kind of an overview real quick. We're coming to you live just because we do have this tornado warning for portions of LaFleur County. Of course, I know there's a large portion of the area not experiencing storms right now, but we do have this tornado warning that is concerning for our friends and family down in LaFleur County. The rest of the area is quiet right now. We do have a couple of thunderstorms in Benton County. The River Valley is mostly dry right now, but we do have that complex starting to push in. And as that pushes in, of course, we're watching the potential with this tornado-warned storm as it's moving into the area. Right now, again, it's in western LaFleur County, and that's this little area that you see here. So, like I said, if you're watching us, get to the lowest floor of a sturdy building. That is the centermost bathroom, closet. Cover yourself with pillows and blankets. And also, if you're in a mobile home, If time allows, if there is a sturdy structure nearby that you can quickly get to, seek shelter there. You don't want to be in a mobile home. You want to be in a sturdy shelter. And let's see if we can go back to velocity here and track this with you as well. Again, there's that little area near McCurtain, and that's going to be making its way into LaFleur County. There's also this little area right here to the south of 31 we'll be watching, and looking to see if the chat is highlighting if there's one in particular that we're watching. But again, there's a couple little areas here. Again, not anything significant, but enough that there could be a tornado warning with it. That's why we have that now. And I'm going to go ahead and check a couple of things as well, see if there's any sort of new updates. Weather Service is saying this was located 5 miles southeast of LaQuire, moving east, northeast. So, and again, still no updates with this, so that's some good news there. I do want to zoom in and just show you some more communities. So if you're in Milton, if you're in Bordeaux, if you're in McCurtain, go ahead and seek shelter, get to the lowest floor like I mentioned, just to be on the safe side. Again, we are watching. There's this little area near Bordeaux, and then there's this little area near McCurtain. And again, they're not impressive. They're not bright colors that you see where it's like bright reds and bright greens coming together. But again, there's just enough to indicate that maybe there is the potential for a quick spin-up tornado with this. And again, that would be near Bordeaux right now. That's Dog Creek Road, excuse me. And this is south of 31. And then there's another little area to the west of McCurtain. But right now, I think this one would be the main area of concern. And let's go ahead and put a little track on that here. And again, it's not moving very quickly. It's moving at 25 miles an hour. And we're going to go ahead and put that there. So again, Dog Creek 547. That's right in the next couple of minutes or so. Bennington Church 607, and then eventually, if it holds its act together, Sunset Corner at 620. So that's a look at some of those communities involved with this tornado warning right now. If you're in the path of it, again, seek shelter. We want to make sure that you are safe at home. And let's go ahead and go back to the reflectivity here, and we'll zoom out real quick. Again, it's not for all of LaFleur County. This is for the northwestern parts of LaFleur County. You can see it's just skirting our county coverage line, and that is where the more concerning little area of rotation is located as it's crossing into LaFleur County. So if you're watching from other portions of LaFleur County, I'll zoom out here real quick. If you're watching from Poteau, you're not getting any sort of tornado warning right now. Spiro, Heavener, Fanshawe, these locations here are not in the tornado warning. It is for northwest LaFleur County. And again, we're watching that. Eventually down the line, if it does maintain its circulation, communities such as Spiro, you'll want to be tracking this very carefully. Stay tuned for, of course, what happens with this over the next little bit. So early heads up to communities like Spiro. And again, Poteau, areas like that that are in central LaFleur County, not included in this warning. It is just northwestern LaFleur. So I do want to go back here. And let's continue to track this area of velocity. I think the one that is in or just near Bordeaux is going to be the main area of concern. I'm going to highlight that for you here real quick. That would be this little area right here. So let's see. It would be this little area right here that we are watching, and that is near Dog Creek Road. In Bordeaux. So if you're in Bordeaux, go ahead and seek shelter. Let's take a look at the current rotation detector. And it's going to be a little bit hard today just because, of course, these are not going to be the more intense areas of velocity that you typically see. But the rotation detector is showing that there is a little area, like I mentioned, near Bordeaux. So if you're in Bordeaux, Dog Creek Road, I believe that's Peach Creek Road, make sure that you're seeking shelter just because there is a little area that we are concerned for near Bordeaux. And I think this is going to be the main circulation that we continue to watch as it makes its way to the north and east. So again, Bordeaux, let's see, I believe that is Peach Creek Road and Dog Creek Road. and Calhauer Road. Hope I'm saying that right. But that's these locations here in the tornado warning that, of course, will be in the path of rotation. So that's what we're looking at there. We are keeping a very close eye on this. And just really quickly, doesn't look like we have any sort of updates. So circulation in West LaFleur is better defined aloft. So we're going to need to be watching this one. Again, we're going to be keeping a very close eye on this. One of the things, too, when I mentioned that they say it's better defined aloft, is typically you can see a little bit stronger rotation above the surface, and then that will eventually translate to the ground. I want to show you real quick what to do in the event of a tornado, just so you know exactly where to go. Here's a look at the best place for tornado sheltering. If you are at home and you're not sure where to go, centermost room, closet, make sure that you get to that basement. If you have one, will be a great area for shelter. You don't want to be near an exterior wall, lowest floor, sturdy building. So that's a look at what you need to do there. Again, stay away from exterior walls. Don't be in your garage if you're in the tornado warning. Just seek shelter and make sure that you are making sure that you and your family are safe. Again, centermost closet, bathroom on the lowest level of a sturdy building. And we're going to go back to the radar here real quick just to show you where this is located. So let's zoom back in on this, and we'll show you again. Tornado warning continues, and this is for portions of LaFleur County. And it looks like they did trim off areas of Latimer County, Oklahoma, to the west. So this is now exclusively in LaFleur County, and that area of concern would be near Bordeaux. Let's go back to the velocity. Let's go back to this one. And again, still that little area near Bordeaux. So that would be the area of concern. Still a little bit of maybe some broad rotation to the north as well, but this is going to be the main area of concern that we're watching. And of course, we're keeping a very close eye on that. Communities like Milton, you may want to consider taking shelter just because you're in the tornado warning. There's a little broad rotation up to the north there as well. If you are in Bordeaux, remain in shelter. Eventually down the line, if you are in Bocosi, I hope I'm saying that right, excuse me, I'm Texas boy, first time covering some of the storms in LaFleur County. But if you're in these communities here, make sure that you're seeking shelter just to be on the safe side if a warning is to be issued. We don't have a warning in effect downstream for North LaFleur County, but if you're in these little communities here, you're going to want to be watching this and mindful that we may get an additional warning down the line if this maintains its strength. So again, keeping a close eye on this. This is one of those things where it's not going to be a long track tornado potential. This is going to be one of those things where any tornado is dangerous, but this is going to be a little bit trickier just because these rotation areas, they'll pulse up quickly and then they'll go away. And right now it looks to be maintaining its strength as it continues to push off to the north and east. And let's continue to watch that. Here's a look at the rotation detector. And again, that one that's near Bordeaux, that looks to be the main area of concern here. And that looks to be on Calhoun Road right here, just to the southeast of Bordeaux. That would be the main area of concern. So again, no warning right now for Bocashi and Panama, but eventually, if this maintains its strength, wouldn't surprise me if we see maybe an additional warning issue that would move downstream for some of these communities that would be in the path of where the storm goes. So and the good news is, too, Weather Service is mentioning that this has not increased. So, and I would tend to agree with them on this. This has not pulsed up. It has not reached those bright levels where it would be super alarming. Of course, any tornado warning is alarming, and you want to treat it with respect and seek shelter when those warnings are issued. But we haven't reached any of those levels where it's strong. So the good news is it's basically maintaining a steady pace at the low end of the scale in terms of rotation. So hopefully this does not produce. Of course, you want to act like it could produce at any time. So get to shelter just to be safe, still southeast of Bordeaux. Let's see if we can include any sort of additional roads and communities. Latham, make sure that you are in shelter as well, just because still that little area of rotation that we're watching as it continues to push off to the north and east. Again, this is moving at around 25 miles an hour. And we're going to go ahead and do this real quick. Go ahead and put this. Here's a look at some of those times of arrival. So again, some of these communities are not in the tornado warning, but we are going to be watching, just because if we get this to maintain its strength, eventually down the line, there could be additional warnings. So we're going to be watching that very closely. Latham around 5:57. So in the next 6 minutes or so, Bennington Church, that's right around 6:10. Panama at 6:17. So again, if you're tuning in with us, we have a tornado warning for portions of Lafleur County. That's the only warning that we have right now. I know, sorry that we're interrupting some of the programming. We just want to make sure that our friends and family down in Lafleur County are completely safe and monitoring this storm. So right now, this is the only storm of concern that we have, and we're watching this very carefully just because there's enough air rotation that it prompted a tornado warning. And of course, we have a tornado watch for portions of the area until 10 o'clock tonight, and I'll show that here real quick to you at home, and we'll show you what we're talking about here. Does not include all of our county coverage area. But as we get into Scott County, Lafleur County, that's where this tornado watch is in effect until 10 o'clock tonight. So watching these storms, there may be some more that we have to watch later on this evening. But right now, this is going to be the main storm of concern in northwestern Lafleur County. So let's go back to this here real quick. And again, let's go back to the velocity. And just as the Weather Service mentioned, notice no real uptick with the velocity signature. We're still watching where there was that area of rotation, and you can still see it. There's those greens and those reds coming together. When they get super tight, we call that gate to gate. That's when you get those colors that are getting super close. That's when we get those reds and those greens. That means that the winds are stronger, they're tighter. That means the more likelihood that there is a tornado. Right now, I think that there is still concern that there could be a tornado with this storm. But right now, not getting any sort of confirmation, but I do want to say on the side of caution, even though we don't have confirmation of a tornado right now, that doesn't mean that there isn't one occurring. That doesn't mean that there isn't one trying to occur. So get to shelter. Make sure that you are safe with your friends and family in shelter. We're going to be watching this very closely. But again, right now, the rotation is still maintaining enough strength for us to be concerned for at least a tornado potential with this as it continues to move off to the north and east. And again, that would be right near the community of Bordeaux right now and to the south and east. So let's go back to that rotation tracker here. See if there's any sort of updates with this. Okay, no updates from the Weather Service. And we'll go back in time and see here. Looks like, okay, there it is. Just took a second to load. So eventually, Calhoun, you're not in the warning necessarily yet. Let me move that over so you can see what I'm talking about here. But still, there's that little area of rotation starting to get closer to your community. So may ought to start thinking about maybe seeking shelter if you're in the path of the storm. Again, we're watching. This may come close to that area. Again, Latham, stay in shelter there. Again, we're watching this area of rotation that is near the community of Latham and Bordeaux. We'll go back to the velocity, show you what we're talking about here. And again, there is some strong signs of at least enough wind and rotation potential that there could be maybe a tornado trying to develop in this area. But right now, it is not super strong or anything like that. And it looks like the Weather Service went ahead and issued a severe thunderstorm warning downstream for this. Waiting for the information on that. Curious to see if they're going to go ahead and issue a tornado tag with that and maybe replace the tornado warning. No confirmation yet on that. But my thoughts are here eventually, as this little area of rotation is starting to get closer and closer to outside of that polygon, we may see either an additional warning or that be replaced. So we'll be watching this. Waiting for word from the Weather Service too. So right now, Panama, Poto, if you're in these areas, you're in a severe thunderstorm warning now, and that is in effect. Let's see, I'll put that up on the board here real quick just so you can see what we're talking about here. And that severe thunderstorm warning is in effect. It's only going to pick up that tornado warning. Excuse me for that. We'll look it up here on the side. We're going to be talking about that until 6:45. So right now we have this new severe thunderstorm warning until 6:45, and that is for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts with that. So all of LaFleur County, or at least for the most part, is in some type of warning, especially the further north you get, for at least severe thunderstorm winds. Right now, the main concern is still to the north and west. That's going to be this little area near Bordeaux, where we're watching for some rotation, maybe even a tornado potential with that. And again, keeping a very close eye on this activity. This is not one of those things where it's like a spring-type thunderstorm where you get a supercell that'll be long track and then you're going to be watching intense rotation for a long period of time. This is going to be a little bit trickier. We're talking these little areas of rotation. They'll pop up quickly. We'll watch them for a couple of scans and then they may start to go away. This one's been maintaining enough strength that, of course, we're watching it for the potential of maybe a tornado. So again, seek shelter if you're in the path of this tornado. There is enough concern for maybe a tornado to develop or maybe one has occurred, but right now, no confirmation on it. But I want to just give a side of caution that even though we don't have any sort of confirmation of this, it doesn't mean that it may not already be on the ground. So watching this very carefully as it continues to move off to the north and east. Right now, it doesn't look like we have any sort of word on if they are going to issue a downstream warning. So if you see me looking off to the side, we have this chat session with our local weather service office. The office that covers our area is Tulsa, Oklahoma. Of course, those forecasters are watching this very carefully. They're the ones that issue the warnings. So we're in communication with them to know if a new warning is going to be issued, what they're seeing, so we can kind of go back and forth on what we're looking at here in terms of the storm. So again, the main activity that we're talking about right now is in LaFleur County. Right now you're looking at our rotation detector, and the more concerning portion of this is going to be in western LaFleur County. That is to the south and west of Panama and to the northwest of Poto. So if you're in Panama and Poto, you're not in a tornado warning right now, but this is what we're watching for, maybe an area of rotation and maybe a potential tornado trying to develop. Let's go back to this. And there is still a little area of rotation there. It is holding on, and we'll show you here. It's located right near Calhoun, and this would be making its way closer to the Shady Point community. So again, no tornado warning right now for Calhoun and Shady Point, but there's enough rotation still that I'm fairly concerned that there may still be an area of rotation trying to at least produce a tornado at this time. So again, I believe that's 24th Avenue, and that's Calhoun Road. Near Calhoun. If you're in Calhoun, seek shelter. Shady Point, go ahead and seek shelter as well. The other thing, too, I want to mention is notice to the north and east of that, where these are starting to get into brighter shades of pink, that may be an increasing damaging wind potential with this as well. So damaging winds, of course, and then this area of rotation that we're going to be watching for the potential of maybe a tornado trying to develop. So again, if you're just now tuning in with us here, I'm going to go ahead and just do a little area of where we're talking about here. And excuse me, let's go ahead and do this little circle area to show you what we're talking about here. And that area of rotation will be located just near Calhoun right now. They're dropping the warning. At least that's what it looks like there. Waiting to see if we get any sort of new information out from the Weather Service on that for the time being. We're going to wait another scan, and then if it looks like it's going to start to drop off even further, we'll bring you back into programming. So just letting everyone know kind of behind the scenes in the production room. If we start to see this start to go down, we'll let you go back to programming here in just a little bit, but I want to stick with it for at least a couple more minutes just to make sure it's not going to come back, just so we're not doing a little bit of whiplash in terms of programming if this were to come back. So we'll keep on this for another scan or two. And we're going to be watching that still area of rotation near Calhoun. So we just want to make sure that we're doing our due diligence. We just want to make sure that, of course, if this were to start pulsing back up, if the Weather Service goes, hey, we're noticing an uptick in this again. We're wanting to be covering it and letting you know the very latest. But in the event that we have to get off of this here on TV, we are live right now on 5 Plus tracking these closely. So we want to make sure that you are very up to date with this information. Now that I look at the time, it's 6 o'clock. So we're starting the 6 o'clock newscast. At least for the time being, we may be able to squeeze in a little bit of that and then continue to track this behind the scenes as that tornado watch has been dropped. So I'll give it another 2 minutes here, and then we can go ahead and send that back into news if that's all right with y'all. So let's take a look here. Again, rotation tracker. That is located near Calhoun right now. Again, we don't have any sort of tornado warning for this time, but we're still watching an area of rotation that is still a little bit concerning as it continues to move off to the east-northeast. And there's that area that I'm talking about there. Notice it's not super bright greens and super bright reds, but there's still some of those greens and those reds coming together. So that may try to maintain at least some type of rotation potential with that. So I'm going to be tracking that and keeping a very close eye on that. And here's another update, and it looks like they did put a tornado possible tag on that. So this is for, of course, LaFleur County till 6:45, tornado possible tag with it. And simply that means that if, there is this area of rotation, if a tornado were to develop, they would have that tag on it, and then they can quickly upgrade it to a tornado warning. A tornado tag simply means there's not enough right now for there to be a warning, but it is that they're watching it very carefully and that there is the potential, at least in the near term, that could be upgraded eventually. So right now, no tornado warnings here. We'll go ahead and send it back to news here for a little bit, and we'll be tracking this behind the scenes, and if anything changes, we'll let you know.
Covering news where you live. This is 5 News.